Okay, and hello and welcome to the Super Mario Kart 150cc tournament here on SpeedGaming 1. We're down to the final 4 remaining players in this competition. This is a lower bracket semi-final match between Jarm0u and BattMallard. I know both of these players, so in our community we're very first name orientated, so if I say Sophie, I mean Jarm0u. If I say Matt, I mean BattMallard. So as the lower seed of the two, Jarm0u gets to push one of the cups back to be played fourth if needed, and Bat will get to choose between the 3 remaining cups as to which cup they play first. This is going to be a best of 5 single cup RTA 1-player speedruns. So both players will be playing the same cup, just on different consoles. Whoever finishes that cup with the fastest time wins a point. First to 3 points wins the match. It has to be done on 150cc, but players have free choice of whichever character they want to use. So both of these players are in the lower side of the bracket now, having both lost one match in this double elimination tournament. Both players lost to the same player, which is Lafungo, who is waiting for whoever comes through the lower bracket in the grand finals. So the winner of this match will go on to play KVD. The winner of that match will then go on to play Lafungo. I've quite a unique take on both of these characters. Both of these players. These are the 2 people who eliminated me from the tournament. BattMallard took me out in the quarterfinals of the upper bracket, and Jarm0u took me out in the lower bracket. So let's see. Looks like Star Cup will be our first cup played. It's possibly the hardest cup in the game. It's kind of a toss-up between Star Cup and Special Cup. Really players' preference as to which one they find the most difficult. Tracks like Bowser Castle 3 make Star Cup pretty difficult, especially for anyone playing on the Japanese version of the game. It seems to be about the one track in the game where there's a bit of a difference between the CPU behavior. CPUs don't try quite as hard. Though looking at the menus, they're both playing on the American version of the game. So we shouldn't see any risk of a rank out at all on any of these tracks. So both players have just set their menus. They've gone through all the selection options, selected which cup they wanted to play, and then quit out of it. What that does is set all those choices up ready for them, so that when they do start, all we have to do is mash the B button, and it'll put in all the correct settings, choose the correct character, choose the correct cup, and they're off. So we should see them going any second now. And BattMallard's the first out of the gate. And Jarm0u 6 seconds behind. We should be getting a resync at some point, normally during the first track, at which time players be easier to directly compare where they are. So this is something we haven't seen from Jarm0u all tournament, choosing a heavyweight character for Star Cup. Up until this point, she's been using the heavyweight character, which is Bowser, for Mushroom Cup, and then Mario for the other cups. But she's been practicing quite heavily with Bowser these last week or two. So we're just seeing a quick resyncing there. So yeah, so seeing Bowser for Jarm0u in Star Cup, it'll be very interesting to see how she goes. They're kind of neck and neck going into the last lap here. Looks like Jarm0u is going to be slightly quicker by about 3/4 of a second. 3/4 of a second really is absolutely nothing in this game, though. You can lose 8 seconds at a blink of a hat if you fall off a track or go into lava, get sniped by a CPU. 47 and 48 are very good opening times. I think near perfection would probably be around the 43-second mark, but that's incredibly hard to do and involves a lot of risks on some of the water jumps. So on to Chuck 1-2, my favourite track in the game. Players here will be looking for feathers. Feathers allow you to do a very big shortcut, which takes what is essentially an 11 or 12-second lap and reduces it down to about a 4-second lap. If they can't get feathers, they'll be looking to get mushrooms. They can use a technique called long boosting, which essentially you mushroom into a wall and press some other buttons and do some other stuff which is probably a bit too complicated to explain, but it essentially locks you into an extended high-speed boost where you can drive pretty much the entire length of some tracks. So let's see Jarm0u here into a long boost. You can see that mushroom speed is being maintained for an incredibly long period of time, almost a lap. Unfortunately, she didn't get back onto the main part of the track, so lost quite a lot of time in the thick chocolate. So we're going to see both the players finishing at almost identical times again. It's pretty much synced. 2 tracks into Star Cup with 3 tracks remaining. Next track up is going to be Vanilla Lake 1. It's not many people's favourite tracks, Vanilla Lake 1. It's on the as you look at it, it looks like it should be an incredibly simple track, where basically all you do is turn right a few times. The track is littered with ice blocks and pipes, the deep snow, which you can maintain full speed through if you jump and slide turn into it, rather than just drive straight. Something we call snow sliding. It's very similar, pretty much identical to a technique we call water sliding, which basically does exactly the same, just with shallow water rather than snow. You got a long boost from Jarm0u, and Matt is nearly a lap behind at this point. He's had a pretty tricky Vanilla Lake 1, whereas Jarm0u has had a fantastic Vanilla Lake 1. 45 seconds is absolutely brilliant for this track. I mean, Matt's going to be coming in with about a 54, which isn't too shabby. But losing 9 seconds, that was fantastic. It's faster than I've ever done on Vanilla Lake 1. By about 3 seconds. But that time can easily be made up on Bowser Castle 3. There's lots of time to be gained if you get a feather. There's lots of time to be lost if you end up in the lava or blocked behind this thwomp wall. So on lap 1, the thwomps are always in the air, but for the laps 2 to 5, the thwomps will be randomly coming down, and there is a spot on this track where they can completely and utterly block your path. So BattMallard on the right has a feather. This is the perfect item for this track. We'll see where he uses it. Traditionally, players would use it here. Yep, there we go. And that's cut him basically half of the lap out. So he's caught up quite a fair bit now to Jarm0u. Still, however, a bit behind. Let's see how the thwomps are to Matt here. Ooh, one of them raged just in time to let him through. Oh, completely lost his speed. Jarm0u seems to be going through pretty much itemless and gets squished. So it's completely random when those thwomps are coming down. You're going to want to drive under the ones which are up so you can get through, but you never know. They could just come down, squishing you, smashing you on the head. So all that lead that Jarm0u had built up from Vanilla Lake 1, pretty much all but a couple of seconds of it have gone. Going for a backup feather jump on lap 5, didn't make it, and now Matt is in the lead. Matt to the full stop. Still with a 1:21 Bowser Castle 3. That's still a very, very good time. Jarm0u coming in with a 1:34. And what was about a 9-second lead is now a 4 or 5 second disadvantage. So look at the time on the fade out. Yeah, it's about 4 seconds difference between the two at the moment. And we go into the final track of the cup, which is MC4. MC4, affectionately known in the community as MC Ball, or Mario Circuit Boring, because there's very little that ever happens on this track. In saying that, Jarm0u did miss a zoom start, which is a 4-frame trick whenever you're in 5th to 8th place. Sorry, it's a 4-frame trick whenever you're in 1st to 4th place. If you're in 5th to 8th, which is the first track of any cup, you get an 8-frame window to do it. And in this version of the game, there's also a really nice visual cue for hitting your zoom start. So we'd be expecting to see the players getting most of their zoom starts. Oh, a full stop by Matt. So Jarm0u's still a fair way behind. Wow, Matt's doing the wall bounce to get around the hairpin. It's a very risky technique. Let's see if he does it on this hairpin here. He'll turn sharply right into the wall. No, going all the way around it this time. It's a very nervous looking MC4 from both players though. Typically they'd be expecting to go sub 1 minute 30. Probably about a 1:28 or so on a cleanish run. BattMallard's looking like he's going to get around in something like a 1:32. Yeah, and for Jarm0u it's going to be a little bit slower. But at 8:04 on the clock, Matt takes the first cup to 8:11 from Jarm0u. Just give Matt his point. So a little star is lit up over on BattMallard's side to indicate that he won the first cup. So as loser of the first cup, Jarm0u gets to choose which of the 2 non-pushed back cups gets to play next. And Jarm0u's chosen to play Special Cup next. So we've started with the 2 hardest cups. So let's see. It'll be interesting to see which character Jarm0u picks for Special Cup. Whether she'll be using Bowser again or whether she'll be going back to Mario. I see Zarkov's trying to continue his run of getting banned out of SpeedGaming chat. So both players have set and ready for Special Cup. They're being counted down in chat. We have a bit of a time delay, so it'll probably be about 30 seconds or so before we see them going on stream. So Special Cup, to a lot of people, this is the hardest cup in the game. For me personally, it's the hardest cup in the game. Mainly because Rainbow Road, I have a tendency to fall off it quite a lot. These 2 players are far too good to be falling off on Rainbow Road though. So if Jarm0u has anything like the Special Cup she had in her match against me, where she got I think a 7:42 or something crazy, then Matt will have to drive his absolute socks off to keep up. Okay, so we're off on Donut Plains 3. What players are looking for here are mushrooms to do what we affectionately known as a Jesus Shroom. All 3 of the Donut Plains tracks have Jesus Shroom locations where you can fire a shroom and essentially walk on water for a bit. The water then bounces you over a wall and you skip a portion of the track off. So let's see how this is going on. So both players having very similar opening 3 laps. Pretty much neck and neck at the moment. No mushrooms there, both players getting coins. So coins serve a purpose. They serve two purposes. One is to increase your speed. Every coin you get up until 10 coins will give you a speed increase. The difference between having 0 coins and 10 coins is about 7% difference in top speed. And they also kind of offer a kind of life bar, where if you have no coins and you get hit by a CPU, you'll spin out. So a few problems there for Jarm0u on the last lap, putting her about 3 seconds behind Matt after the first track. Moving on to Koopa Beach 2. This is a track that newer players find very, very difficult normally, mainly because the CPUs, they seem to rubber band incredibly hard on this track, and they don't slow down in the shallow water, unlike human-controlled characters who do slow down in shallow water. Unless you trick the game and do some boosts into water sliding techniques, as we're seeing from Jarm0u. If you just drive normally straight through the shallow water, you'll lose quite a bit of speed. The CPUs won't, and quite often you have them right on your back the entire race. So any mistake on the last lap and you get overtaken by 3 or 4 CPUs and rank out. But these players here are far too good to let that happen. They're also far too good to let themselves lose speed going through shallow water. Jarm0u onto the last lap. Looking like the difference between the two players is narrowed somewhat. Yep. Jarm0u picking up nearly 2 seconds back. So there's only going to be 1 or 2 seconds between the two players now. Why is Matt telling me that the screens look mirrored? Hopefully we have the right ways. Okay, well, I'm just going to assume that everything is how it should be. And that we have Ghost Valley 3. Biggest obstacle on this track is staying on the track. There's a platform jump that both players will likely be going for. It's known as the easiest platform jump in the game, but even people who stress how easy it is can fall off it in stress situations. And big shout outs to Dan_H for falling off the easiest platform jump in the game multiple times at the recent American Super Mario Kart Championships. Okay, so Matt with a 109, Sophie with a 109. So there's still only 2 or 3 seconds between the two players. We move on to Vanilla Lake 2. If Jarm0u has anything like a Vanilla Lake 2, as she did on Vanilla Lake 1, this will be a joy to behold. Ideally, what we want to see is the players not going swimming. What we call doing a Michael Phelps. Basically, anytime you go into the water, this game lets you drive underwater, but you drive at such a ridiculously slow pace that you lose so much time. And when you pop up back on the track, you pop up with no speed at all. So, mushroom for Matt. Didn't take too much risks with it. Jarm0u with a feather. She'll probably keep it to the last lap. Ooh, maybe she'll get rid of it now. Yeah. See if she can pick up a star. Not a star, a mushroom. Been playing far too much battle mode. I keep thinking, get stars, get stars. But we're not going to see players getting stars Mainly because you can't pick a star up in first place in this game. Matt with a 55, Jarm0u with a 53. The play is pretty much neck and neck now, less than a second between the two of them. As we go on to the Rainbow Road, a track with absolutely no boundaries whatsoever, and the fastest way around it is to jump over the gaps in the around the edges of the corners, over the abyss, and hope you land on the other side. Both players will be looking to get a feather. The feather allows for a finish line shortcut at the end for lap 5, which essentially cuts the last lap in half. Matt has a feather. This is just... Okay, I'm back. And okay, I might have to reset after this track. I'm seeing about 1 frame every 2 seconds at the moment. It looks like Matt's still got his feather, hasn't crashed yet. Jarm0u just behind with a mushroom. She'll probably need to use that mushroom and then stay on the track. She didn't stay on the track. Wow. But, oh wow! Matt getting sniped by Koopa, it looked like. Maybe it was DK. It looked like a shell, it might have been a banana. I'm not entirely sure. One of the CPUs sniped him and sent him straight off the track. And now it's very close again. But with Matt's lead, if he lands the feather, he wins. If he misses the feather, he loses. He's missed it. He went far too straight. He should have started off a bit more to the left and then angled across to the right. He went completely straight at it, and Jarm0u takes it in a 7:59. And Matt coming in on an 8:07. So I had some major buffering mid-race there, so I'm just going to refresh my stream and hopefully we'll get back to where you guys are. And I just did the score wrong. So we saw there that Matt was in the lead with a feather. If he'd driven around without using the feather, as long as he didn't fall off, he'd have won. He went for the feather, went at it far too straight, didn't cross the finish line plane, and that allowed Jarm0u, who was only a second or two behind, to drive around featherless and win. So we go to 1-1. And it looks like the third cup to be played is going to be Flower Cup. Mushroom Cup had been pushed back by Jarm0u. Hopefully the commentary is now going to be back in sync. I've refreshed the stream and we're all ready to go. Be interesting to see which character Jarm0u chooses here. I think hopefully she'll go with Mario. I think if she's staying with Mario on any of these cups, then Flower Cup should be the one. Yep, there we go. Mario has been selected. Personally, I'm a Team Ouija player, but I can appreciate anybody using the bros. I'm sure there's going to be people in chat asking, why Mario? So Mario is the second tier character in terms of top speed. You have Bowser and DK of the highest speed, but the lowest acceleration and the worst handling. Mario and Luigi have the second highest top speed, not much below DK Bowser. Has slightly better acceleration, but has much better turning. So what you'll see is that on some of the tracks, Mario can just turn the corners at full speed quite easily, while DK Bowser will struggle and you have to brake and gas release. And we also have the last track of this cup. There's a technique called infinite boosting, and with Mario you can steer the infinite boost a lot easier and a lot further. And the fourth track, Bowser Castle 2, is just 10 times easier to drive with. So we see Matt currently has the feather. Feather has a pretty nice shortcut here, which saves 2 or 3 seconds. See if he does it now or saves to the last lap. Looks like he's going to save it to the last lap. Jarm0u without a feather to finish is just going to boost to the line. And Matt, oh, he overturned and spun out. He was looking to generate a boost so he could boost through this thick chocolate to the line there. But turned just a little bit too much, which caused him to spin out. So Jarm0u with a 48. That's a very, very nice time for an itemless Choco Island 1. So Ghost Valley 2, my personal least favourite track in the game. For whatever reason, I seem to catch an edge of a corner pretty much every single time I play it. And the CPUs, they do not try at all on this track. Ooh, Matt going for a platform jump and falling into the abyss. Jarm0u making her platform jump. So from midway through lap 3, you're essentially just continually overtaking CPU characters. And the way the CPUs are programmed to behave, they slow down kind of right before they get to a corner. So even though they're going around this track really slowly anyway, they then slow down a whole bunch more on the entry to every corner and then speed up on the exit of it, and it makes them incredibly difficult to avoid. But Jarm0u avoided them absolutely spot on, and he gets a 49-second GV2. Matt, having fallen into the abyss, will have lost some time, but that was a risky finish. Crashes out as well, loses about 9 seconds. Which, when added to the time he'd already lost on Choco Island 1, is putting him quite a bit behind here at the moment on Flower Cup. So Jarm0u missing the zoom start, but being Mario, the acceleration gets back up to full speed pretty quickly anyway, so not punished too hard for that. See how Matt goes on his zoom start. Yep, he gets it. So there is a mushroom shortcut on this track where you can bounce off the water and over a wall. It's very risky to do though. I doubt there's many people who have more than a 70% success rate with it. And the majority of people are probably 50-50 or worse. So it'll be interesting to see if either of the players go for it. I wouldn't expect Jarm0u to go for it, especially with the lead she has at the moment. But Matt may well go for it. And he's got a mushroom, so let's watch Matt's side of the screen. He's going to go for it. Oh, wow, he made it over. And getting stuck in the wall, he gets ejected out of it at near full speed as well. So that's going to... I've caught him up a few seconds, but he's still having some issues getting back up to full speed at the moment. Lots of grass. And Jarm0u having some issues with the CPUs in the S-bends. But looks like she's going to come around to a fairly clean 126. Matt with an absolutely excellent 117. So a large portion of the time that Jarm0u had an advantage has now been clawed back by Matt. As we move on to Bowser Castle 2. Now for me, this is the one track in this cup where I wish I was playing as Mario or Luigi. Going around all these tight 90-degree turns with Mario is so much easier. And I jinxed. With Bowser, you're kind of fighting your way around the track, especially in this section that Matt's at now. It's not so bad on lap 1 where you're at low coin count, but as soon as your coin count gets up to 10 and you've got that extra little bit of speed, some of these corners just are so difficult to get around at full speed. But Matt's done a sterling job at the moment, and he's now overtaken Jarm0u. Wow, he's a great first couple of laps from Matt. Now he's getting into the CPUs though. Crashes out at the sight of Toad. And Jarm0u now back into the lead. Another full stop by Matt. Jarm0u's just going on. So it'll be interesting to see if either of these players get a feather, what they decide to do with it. Matt, hitting the green shell. He's having a lot of problems in that section of the track these last couple of laps. And Koopa has been holding him up for a while. Jarm0u's going through without a feather. See what happens. Can Matt pick up a feather? Nope. No big shortcuts to finish this track off. But it looks like Jarm0u's going to have maybe a 6-second lead. Ooh, Yoshi trying to snipe that thwomp. He's lucky he caught that thwomp kind of as head on as he did. You can get ejected off to the side if you hit it on the side like that and into the lava. So we move on to MC3. Jarm0u tends to infinite boost off the zipper here. Whether she'll do that now, if she knows what kind of lead she's got. Ooh, a miss zoom start. You do not want to be inside the CPUs at the start of MC3. It's very difficult to get past them. Bro on bro action there. The green shell to Luigi. And still caught up in the CPUs. Looks like Yoshi denied the infinite boost. So this is catching Matt up quite a bit. But Jarm0u's still out in the lead at the moment. She's got that mushroom which she'll probably hold on to, just in case she comes to a full stop anywhere, so she can get accelerated back up to speed. And now she's in the infinite boost. That little wall hit at the end, that is just a way of clipping back onto the track through the sand without losing any speed at the end of the infinite boost. So she's generating a boost, driving over the zipper, puts it into a permanent boost state. Though she's too fast to go through the hairpin, so she has to kill the infinite boost just before the hairpin. On lower tier CCs of the game, you can actually steer the infinite boost all the way around the track. So generate it at the end of lap 1 and steer it all the way through to the end of lap 5. So Jarm0u slowing down, but having that mushroom there, that's enough to get her back up to full speed, and she wins it by just 4 seconds in the end. So from 1-0 down, Jarm0u now moves to a 2-1 lead. This is an elimination match. We are in the losers semi-finals here. Both players have lost one match already in this double elimination tournament. So BattMallard is now on life support. He absolutely 100% needs to win this Mushroom Cup to stay in the tournament. If Jarm0u wins the Mushroom Cup, she will progress through to the losers final, where she'll be playing KVD, aka SMK_machine in chat. He's doing the admin for this tournament today. So a little bit about the two players. We have Jarm0u, the best Super Mario Kart player from Belgium, entering into this tournament as the number 7 seed. However, she's already beaten the number 4 seed and number 6 seed earlier in the tournament to progress through to the last 4 players. And she's facing against BattMallard, aka Matt, an American Super Mario Kart player. I believe he's the current American time trial number 1. Though I think that's a title which is currently being challenged by Lafungo. I haven't looked at the charts the last few weeks, so if that has changed places. I apologise to Lafunga. Matt's had time trial world records, and he was also one of the members of the cartel who organised the recent American Super Mario Kart Championships over in Monroe, Louisiana. For anybody who watched those, they were fantastic to see. Our very own KVD won the two-player GP tournament over there in the States. So he's the current NTSC two-player, multiplayer GP champion. So we're off to Mushroom Cup, and we see Jarm0u is back to using Bowser. Mushroom Cup is the easiest of all the cups in the game. Most of the tracks are pretty simple, just point and click and try not to make any silly mistakes. Players will be looking to get sub 50 on MC1. It looks like Matt's had a couple of missed boosts here, just losing him some time, so it's highly unlikely we'll see Matt get a sub 50 unless he gets like 2 shrooms now. Jarm0u struggling past DK, but getting there. Ooh, going a bit wide around Yoshi. Ooh, who takes an egg punt at her as she goes past. And it's going to be just over the 50 for Jarm0u and a 52 for Matt. I mean, neither will be too happy, but to be honest, you're losing 1 or 2 seconds. There are much bigger time losses to be had in this game than 1 or 2 seconds on MC1. Next track's DP1. That's a donut plains track. This has a Jesus room, but it's by far the hardest of all the water shroom bounce over wall shortcuts in the game. And Jarm0u missing the zoom start, Matt getting it. So Jarm0u's lead has now entirely disappeared. So a good time on this track is probably something in the region of about a 102 for these players. If they get a mushroom and go for the wall hop, then probably looking for high 50s, like 58, 59. I don't know if we'll see either player risk it if they get a mushroom though. And with Jarm0u's missed zoom start, she's probably going to be looking to claw her way back to something like a 105, 106 at this point. Matt, however, seems to have been clean all the way through so far. Looks like he's going to be on a 101 pace. This is really good. Donut Plains 1 driving by Matt. Coming up to the last corner. Can he get sub 101 even? Oh, fantastic. For a no item Donut Plains 1, a 1 minute .60 is absolutely fantastic. Sub 12 on the last 2 laps. That is very, 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 very good driving. Jarm0u with the 108, losing about 8 seconds. She was a couple of seconds ahead, so we're probably looking at about 6 seconds difference between the two at the moment. Oh, about 7 seconds, but Jarm0u's stalled out again. That's 2 tracks in a row. Must be feeling the nerves because she doesn't normally stall out. Oh, and a missed platform jump. Always difficult on lap 1 when you're below 10 coin speed. Once you get up to 8 plus coins, making that platform jump is fairly straightforward. But Matt, jumping off the track, used the mushroom, made it back onto the track, and then went to jump to straighten up and just jumped too far off to the left and off the track. And that has put us... Oh no, we're not neck and neck. Sophie's an entire lap behind still. I thought we were back up to neck, but I forgot Jarm0u had been off the track as well. So 1 lap in it between the two of them, so that's roughly 10 seconds. So Jarm0u losing another couple of seconds there, so she was 7 seconds behind At the start of that race, she'll be probably somewhere between 9 and 10 seconds behind now. Going into Bowser Castle 1. If you can pick up a feather on Bowser Castle 1, you can take what would be a 14-second lap and strip it back to about a 7 or 8-second lap. So there are big time saves to be made. Matt missing the zoom, and Jarm0u missing her 3rd zoom in a row. Going to be looking for feathers for Jarm0u, and she'll also be hoping that Matt comes to a few full stops. It is quite easy to catch an edge and come to a full stop, or have a CPU in a very difficult position, get knocked by them and go into the lava. I wouldn't wish it on either of them, but at the moment, if Jarm0u wants to win this cup, she's going to need feathers or mistakes from Matt. At the moment, Matt's not making any major mistakes. He had a little error earlier on, but he's still looking like he's going to be on a 116, 117 pace. So Jarm0u again at a full stop, having problems with the CPUs. Ooh, that's a risky line by Matt. But he made it through. Gets a 117. And Jarm0u looking like she's going to lose another 2 or 3 seconds on this track. With a 119. So if BattMallard has got Jarm0u's stream up, or got this commentary stream up, and has any idea of what kind of lead he has, then he'll probably play it safe on MC2. If he's got the commentary stream up, the stream delay is he probably won't really realise just how far ahead he is until midway through the race. And I think that's an exact example of not knowing how far you are ahead. Going for a technique called a long boost, where you pretty much when you're midway over the first of the 2 yellow zippers, you press hop, and you can zoom off the zipper, bounce into the wall, bounce backwards, go back over the zippers, and it puts you into a much higher speed state, and it locks you in that state for an extended period of time. And Matt again going for a long boost. Doesn't need to be doing this. Jarm0u long boosting as well. She does need to be doing this. Matt long boosting again, going into the last lap. And Jarm0u missed her long boost at the end of lap 4. So Matt takes Mushroom Cup with a 7:43. We are going to a Cup 5. I was very much hoping this one would go the full distance. These are 2 fantastic players. And if there's 2 people I'd like to watch dinging it out cup for cup, it's these 2. So, Matt, being the one who won the last cup, I believe that gives him the ban. So Matt gets to ban one of the 4 cups, and then Jarm0u gets to pick between which of the 3 non-banned cups gets played. Yeah, so basically whoever won the 4th cup, i.e. got 2 wins second, is the one who bans one of the cups, and the player who was 2-1 up prior to that one gets to pick the remaining cup to play. And Matt Ballard has banned Special Cup. Jarm0u is having a think. I'm expecting that Jarm0u's gonna pick. It's gonna be Flower or Special, Flower or Star, and Jarm0u's gone with Flower. Yeah. So we're going to see Flower Cup. So we should see Jarm0u going back to and Matt's sticking with Bowser, replaying Flower Cup, which Jarm0u won earlier. So if you're watching this and you're thinking, wow, Super Mario Kart looks like a really fun game to play, how do I get involved? If you look at the bottom right of the stream, you can see some links written up there on the video feed. The first one, mariokartplayers.com/smk, will take you to the time trial site. So we have something like 1,000 registered players who have been taking part in Mario Kart time trials since the late 1990s. The site's updated once a week, like clockwork, and has been doing so for about 20 years by the godfather of SMK, Sami Shetton, the UK #1, and also the winner of the overall title at the recent American Super Mario Kart Championships. He's also a former Mario Kart World Champion from the CDM. So if you want to get involved in Mario Kart, one of the best places to start is in time trials, because you learn the fundamentals of how to drive and how to control the players. So that's over at mariokartplayers.com/smk. If you fancy doing some single cup speedruns or all cup speedruns, then head over to speedrun.com, a site I'm sure everyone here is familiar with, and it's /smk, where we have leaderboards for 150cc all cups and the individual cups, which we see players doing at the moment. And then the final of the three links is to the ffsmk.org. That stands for French Federation of Super Mario Kart, but don't let that put you off. The site's English as well, and it's basically the host for the Mario Kart World Championships. It has stats and videos going back to something like 2003, 2004 championships, which are held every year. Initially they were in France, the last two have been held in the Netherlands. This year we don't know if we're going to have one for obvious reasons. Jarm0u takes Choco 1 with a 49 seconds. Matt, 52 seconds, losing about 3 seconds after the first race. But what I would say is ffsmk.org, if you want to see videos of the absolute top tier 2-player multiplayer Super Mario Kart, the videos for all the previous championships are there. Go watch some of the videos from the grand finals of the GP tournaments, the battle mode tournaments, match race tournaments, and just be absolutely amazed at how brutal two people can be to each other in Mario Kart. And we're off on GV2. We've got a pretty rough start from Jarm0u, getting tangled up with the CPUs. And Matt now has taken the lead. And Matt now has taken a jump into the abyss. And Jarm0u has taken the lead. Okay, so Matt's out of the CPUs for now. That fall off should mean he probably won't see them again until towards the end of lap 4. Unless, of course, he takes another... That banana! Oh, I thought that was going to be on top of him for a second. So falling off there for Matt's kind of like a double whammy. First, he's obviously lost time from falling off, and secondly, it put him right back in the CPUs. So Jarm0u's going to come around with a 55. There is a feather line finish, and Matt's going for it, and he's missed it. Wow. That was an incredibly risky feather to try. If he'd done it, he would have been right behind Jarm0u, but it's very, very, very... I can't stress how very difficult it is to land. And by missing it, it's given away another 5 or 6 seconds, probably. So Jarm0u now, yeah, go big or go home. I completely agree. I mean, it's lovely to watch, and it would have been fantastic if he got it. It would have been right back, brought the action all close together again. Unfortunately, by missing it, it's given Jarm0u a 15-16 second advantage, which it's not insurmountable, but it's gonna Needs some fantastic driving from Matt and probably some good items, and maybe coupled with some mistakes from Jarm0u. This is Super Mario Kart. When things go wrong, they tend to go wrong big style and quickly. So it's never over till it's over. Despite what a lot of multiplayer players will do, where they'll just quit out. Sometimes if you just keep sticking at it, magic can happen in this game. So Matt coming around the end of lap 3 in 49. Jarm0u coming around the end of lap 4 shortly after him. Looks like Matt has caught up about 2 seconds maybe so far. So we got a 122 for Jarm0u. Ooh. CPU is trying to snipe Matt, but he's avoided it, but did lose a bit of speed there. Looks like it's going to be a very similar time. Yeah. So Bowser Castle 2. You can always slow down to a full stop. That'll lose you a couple of seconds. If you get a feather and you can use it on the last lap, that will save you probably 9 seconds. So really Matt's only hope now is that he has a clean Bowser Castle 2 and he gets the feather. And he lands the feather. If Jarm0u gets the feather and she knows where she is, I don't see her using it. She's got nearly a lap's lead here at the moment. So the winner of this match will progress through to the final 3. Well, they'll face KVD, aka SMK Machine, for the right to face Lafungo in the grand final. And fairly clean Bowser Castle 2 so far from both players. Distance between them is pretty much being maintained at the moment. Matt is really going to need to get a feather. He's going to have 2 chances at picking up a feather. And he just missed his first one by driving between the item blocks. Jarm0u doesn't get a feather, which is probably good for her because it removes any temptation to go for the feather shortcut. Matt needs this to be a feather. It's not a feather. Probably going to go something like 10 seconds behind into the last track. Maybe a bit less now, actually. I'm sure I just heard some Discord disconnecting sounds. Hopefully that wasn't me. So Mario Circuit 3. If Jarm0u can keep it relatively clean, the place in the final 3 will be hers. Misses the zoom start, gets a nice little push from Princess though. And picking up the coins is also a very good thing because it lowers the risk that the CPUs will knock her down to 1 coin. Matt also missing the zoom start, but getting a nicer push off the line. This has been... Oh, Princess bullying Jarm0u away from the zipper, and this is letting Matt catch up quite a bit. But still 4 or 5 seconds between them, but Jarm0u slowing down a lot on that hairpin. Okay, so Jarm0u now gets to go into infinite boost. Steers the first infinite boost really well. Back onto the track at near full speed. Gets caught up in the pipes a little bit though. And all this is letting Matt catch up bit by bit by bit by bit. Jarm0u back into infinite boost. That banana on the track was in a bit of an awkward position, but she avoided it okay. And this time avoids the pipes. Still slowing down quite a lot for the hairpin, but the time gained from the infinite boost is helping her. Into the last lap, she's going to cut the infinite boost short. Yeah, that's a sensible thing to do. Avoid Bowser. Hope he doesn't throw those bouncing balls. Oh, wow! That was so close to a Bowser snipe. But Sophie, Jarm0u, 8:33. Matt, 8:36 or maybe 37. He spun out on the line. But GG, congratulations to Jarm0u. She's going to take it 3 cups to 2. BattMallard, commiserations. He'll be eliminated from the tournament in 4th place. But Jarm0u into the top 3 where she fights KVD in the lower bracket final. Let me mark the players as done. I don't know if we'll be getting anyone joining us in for the interview. Jarm0u being from Belgium, may possibly be heading over to the French stream. I don't know if Matt has a microphone or not. Hopefully Jarm0u will pop over and say hello to us. Fingers crossed. But we'll see. So the Discord invite should have gone out to both of the players. Okay, so looks like Jarm0u is just going to pop into the French stream and say hi to them and then jump over here, where I'm sure she'll sound absolutely shocked that she got through. She shouldn't be. I don't think it was really a surprise to any of us that she plays so well. So let's just have a quick recap on what happened. So the players started off. Where did they start off? Was it Star Cup? I think Matt won the first one. Then we had Jarm0u came back with Flower and Star. Matt then equalised it at 2-2 with Mushroom. And we went all the way to a 5th cup. Why has Matt got 3 stars on? Somebody's been pressing buttons. Went all the way to a 5th cup. Matt banned special. Jarm0u chose Flower. And it was back and forth over the first 2 tracks on Flower Cup before Matt went for a very risky feather finish on GV2. Lost a lot of time. But bit by bit, he clawed his way back, and he was only three seconds behind at the end. It was a very nervous finish from Jarm0u. Okay. Just keeping a quick eye out. We won't have long with Jarm0u when she gets here because I believe there is something following us on the hour, so we only really have about 2 minutes left before we have to vacate SpeedGaming 1. Let's have a quick look at the schedule. What's due to follow us? A Link to the Past randomizer daily race, which is going to be an open seed. So hopefully Jarm0u will jump in quickly. Otherwise, it'll be it. Okay, looks like I can see Jarm0u. And then she disappeared. I saw her in the setup for about 100th of a second. Okay. Okay, it looks like we've got Jarm0u in chat. Hi, Jarm0u, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. How are
Okay,
you?
we're going to have to be very, very quick because we've got something following us in about 2 minutes. But congratulations!
Okay. Thank you.
All that practice of the last few weeks has really paid off, and you beat the number 3 seeds, Matt. Well done.
Thank you. Well, it paid off, except on the Zoom starts, apparently.
Yeah,
I
you
don't
looked like
know.
you were getting a bit nervous on the starts towards
Oh
the
my
end.
god. I I really too many. I saw when I could watch the stream, and I saw we were just like mirrors most of the time, and it was just unbelievable. I really loved it. Congratulations, Matt. You've been an amazing opponent. Be glad that this match happened.
Okay, just a quick final thank you. Fantastic match to watch, and wish you all the luck.
Thanks.
And hope you beat KVD in the no bracket
Okay,
final.
KVD, I will beat you if we do this match in Mini Yoshi and Mini Princess. What's your call?
Okay, I'm sure Carol will give that answer. So we're going to have to jump off the air because our time is up. But again, congratulations to Jarm0u. Congratulations to Matt, also finishing fourth in this tournament. A fantastic result. And we'll see Jarm0u again shortly.
Yes, soon against KVD, who says no way to the Mini Yoshi and Mini Princess. What a surprise. Thank you everybody for watching. And I hope you will enjoy the next match. It will be something different, I think. But that was incredible. Thank you so much, everybody, and thank you, David, for the commentary. I can't wait to rewatch this to hear your comment.
Okay, yep. Okay,
and yeah,
so thank you, everybody.
I happen to be a woman. Surprise, surprise.
So that's it from us. Up next is a link to pass the randomizer, so people who are here to watch that will be getting out of your way. And for everybody who came here to watch Super Mario Kart, thank you. It was a fantastic match. And good night.
Good night, everybody. Good night, David. Thank you.